Hey, welcome back. This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And this kind of tells the story, and I'm going to get to this in a few minutes. First, I'm going to tell you my story. And my story is, as you could probably tell by my voice, I caught a cold. I went to a baseball game, local A level state league game, which we have seasons tickets to. At least my wife has seasons tickets to. I'll go if she goes, but I don't really care to be around crowds. And normally there's no crowd. Normally the attendance has been really poor this year because they're not doing too good. And so usually there's only like 300 or 400 people there, which means the stadium holds I think 20,000. Well, you can almost sit any place you want to because there's nobody there. But on the July 3rd game, they were going to have this gigantous fireworks, which they've had every year. And everybody showed up. And it was packed. I don't think there were any seats available. And sure enough, in that crowd, I contacted a cold because 2 days later, which was Tuesday, this past Tuesday, I came down with a bad cold, and I've been in bed sick for 5 or 6 days. I'm a little better today, a little weak, so I'm not going to do much today. Maybe tomorrow I'll feel better. But I just wanted to let you know what was going on and why I hadn't done these shows recently. The other thing is, and this is kind of old news now, it came out, I think, Wednesday maybe of this week, that Amateur Radio Electronic Supply, which supplied electronics for amateur radio operators and been in business for eons, long time, they have announced that they're going out of business. Now, the history of the store here is there was a store here about 2 miles from me, very tiny store, kind of about the size of one of these stores in one of these strip malls. Actually, that particular store many years before had been a Lafayette electronics store. Lafayette was in competition with Radio Shack, or back then it was called Allied Signal, I think, or Allied Radio, maybe Allied Radio. And Lafayette folded down very quickly. And AES opened this additional store. Now, this was a store beyond their main store. So you can see down here, this is 1994 to 1995 catalog. I got many of those catalogs, many of their catalogs, and I just grabbed this one as a reference. But at this time, 1940 to 1995, they had 5 stores. And one of them was in Clearwater, where I live. So they were doing pretty good. They didn't have much competition at this level supplying amateur radio equipment, and they were doing pretty good. I mean, they kept adding more and more stores. I think either the Clearwater or the Las Vegas store was the last one that they opened. Well, they were doing so good here in Clearwater that they moved into a brand new store that was it was a strip mall store, but it was huge. It was at least four times bigger than what they had before. And of course, back then there was a lot, as you can see, there was a lot of amateur radio equipment. And still there's almost that much now, it's just the sources are drying up. And they had most of the equipment they carried out on display. So you could go in their store and you could play with this equipment. Now, they didn't have everything, but they had a lot of things out. So you could go in and, like if I can show you one here real quick. It'd be nice if I could. Like this one right here. This is a Yaesu FT900. which was, you know, a new radio back then. It says introduction. Um, they'd have this out on the counter. They'd have it powered up. They'd have it hooked up to an antenna. You could transmit and receive on it. That was the beauty. And that was the beauty of stores, any kind of store, back in 1994, 1995. You go in, you can see the product, play with it. Well, over the years, the mail order business, I gotta sneeze, stand by, started booming, and their prices, of course, were a lot lower. And people just said, you know, I'll go in this store here, and then I'll go buy it mail order. They still do that now. So consequently, amateur electronic supply, their business started going down. They closed the store in Clearwater. Now that new store was only open for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden, the demise of local stores kind of went down. It was surprising to me that they actually put a store in Clearwater, because I wouldn't say that we're the most popular amateur hobbyist location. If anything, I thought if they would have put it in Tampa across the bay, which is a bigger city and probably got a lot more people. But anyway, they did open a store in Clearwater for a while, and it was nice to go there. But as I said, over the years, after this time frame, more and more mail order stores for amateur equipment came online and had better prices. They did have mail order, but their prices weren't that much better when buying from mail order. So I think that was their demise. They just didn't have the margins. So they're gone. As of this week, several websites and even AWRL announced that they're gone, that they're going to close. I don't know what's going to happen to their stock, if they're going to put it on a super discount or sell it to one of the other stores or what. I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to kind of miss them. I did miss them when they left Clearwater, because I couldn't go in and look at things. So I had gone once or twice to Orlando, to their Orlando store, and it wasn't as nice. And they had this huge, beautiful catalog. Every year, in the back, they had pictures of all their employees in all their stores. Excuse me, why? I got a sneeze attack coming, and it just keeps bothering me. Like, here are the guys that worked at our store. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people that worked at the Clearwater store at this time. I knew these two guys real well, Lynn and Victor. The other ones, I don't even recognize them. Yeah, I don't even recognize the other ones. So that's the only news I have, which, like I say, it's kind of old news because this came out earlier this week. But I just wanted to let you know where I was and why there were no shows coming out this week. And like I say, I'm getting better finally, and hopefully maybe tomorrow or Monday I'll do a real show again, and we'll get rolling again. So thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks for everyone who's using my Amazon store and have subscribed. Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.